What's up guys, Trey Colley here, and today is going to be a very special video because I'm going to be going over how you can live your dream life and how attainable it really is, right? There is a reason that people are successful, that people are happy and so forth, and what all the rich know and all the happy people in the world know is the secret. And I'm about to reveal that secret today on this talk. Right now, I'm in San Diego. I'm actually here visiting a friend, and I'm so happy to be sharing this information because it is life-changing information. And before I get into it, make sure you like and subscribe. It helps me a ton. And if you like this video, drop a comment too, and let's get into it, right? So one of the biggest things about living your dream life is you have to know where you're going, right? So you have to set targets. If you don't have a general direction, then how are you ever supposed to get there, right? So let me use the example. If you set out to sea and you're on a boat, for instance, right? And you're a pirate ship and you're setting out to sea on the vast sea where there's many different directions you could be going. You don't set the X mark on the map, the treasure, the enlightenment that you're looking for, then how are you ever supposed to get there? Because you are just going to go with the wind and the current around you, aka your friends and your family and your colleagues tell you to do on where you should go, and you don't take control of your ship and go where you need to go. But if you set your end destination, your dream life, your dream car, your dream house, and you break it down from a ladder step backwards, you know the general direction. When you go to different spots along the way, different islands, right? You collect more information, you know, I'm going in this direction, so you're not going to get pulled and distracted and go completely the wrong way, right? Or see another thing that's super shiny that you want to go to. You can't get distracted. You got to stay aligned with your purpose and with your goals. So the next question is, how do you know what you want out of life? Well, you need to start asking yourself more questions. And what I mean by that is, who are you, right? For instance, who is Trey? And I have to be real with myself. Who is the future Trey that I want to create, that I want to live? What is my true potential? What do I love doing? And you have to ask yourself more questions, right? So for instance, I could write down, what do I love doing? What makes me genuinely happy? What community or what person do I help that makes me happy, right? What stuff that I go through in my life that makes me unique and is something that I could get back if I was super successful, right? And that could be you growing up with animals, or you growing up in an orphanage, or you growing up and you want to change the educational system, whatever that may be, or maybe you want to do something much smaller. That's fine. You have to figure that out, and you have to ask questions, right? Maybe you have a dream car, maybe you have a dream house, right? Well, if I went to 1,000 people and I said, what's your dream life? Describe it to me. They'd have no idea. They'd have to think about it for a very long time, and they don't have a direction on where they're going. It's so important to figure out the details. You have to figure out the details. For instance, if you want a Lamborghini, how much does it cost a month? How much is the insurance, right? Well, you need a house to park it. How much does that house cost a month, right? You have to figure out exactly how much income you need to make so you can focus on the skill sets and value to produce that type of income and start researching and getting into business or getting to a field where you can afford to live that lifestyle that you desire. And before you start making excuses right at the bat, why, right? Why make excuses, right? What if I told you that everything that you set in your journal, all the goals, that they would come to no matter what, right? Then you'd probably aim a lot higher, but that's how you should be writing down your goals in your journal, based off not, oh, this is gonna be really difficult, blah, blah, blah. No, go limitless. We have infinite amount of potential, right? I say this all the time. Your brain is so powerful, right? And there's so much stuff and so many laws that govern this universe that we cannot see, right? So once we start to figure that out and we start putting that energy, like attracts like, right? So when you start putting out positive energy, you attract positive people, and your environment is so important. So if you're surrounding yourself with people that have terrible habits, then don't be surprised if you start gaining those habits as well, right? And that's another big thing, is that if you don't sacrifice for your dreams become your sacrifice. And that trade-off, everything requires a trade-off. When you go to the store and you need food, you have to trade money. If you want to go out and hang with your friends, you're trading time, right? And vice versa, if you're allocating that time and energy to, educating yourself or whatever it may be. But everything requires a trade-off. And if you don't sacrifice for your dreams become your sacrifice, right? So while other people are partying, doing things, that they may not necessarily be doing, because why are they even partying? Why are they celebrating? What have they accomplished, And you could be working day and night, but it's that buildup of compound effect that's going to separate you and make you the 1%. And at the end of the day, it's going to pay off if you stay aligned with your goals and your purpose. And you have to have a very strong purpose to stay aligned with your goals so you don't keep easily getting distracted, right? But ultimately, again, you have to set targets. You have to figure out your goals, and you have to set deadlines for these goals, right? Because if you just say, I want a Lamborghini, and you don't decide when you want it by, what age do you want the Lamborghini by? You want it 1 year, 2 years, etc. Because you have to figure out exactly how much you have to make a month to afford that car. And again, this is just an example, right? And when I say you have to build a ladder system, right, what that means, you reverse engineer the process. So if you know that your dream income is $1 million, if I make $1 million a month, or if I make $1 million a year, or 100,000 a year, whatever it may be, then how much is that a month? How much do I have to make a day? And so forth. And then once you understand that, you know your options. Well, I can't even do any of this stuff because those jobs don't even allow me to make that kind of income. So then you know not to waste time doing that, right? And if you hang out with people that don't have any goals, right, then they're just going to hold you down. They're just going to anchor you down. That's just the reality of things, right? If they're going to demotivate you, they're going to drag you into things you shouldn't be doing, taking up your time and so forth. And again, that's part of the sacrifice, is that you can't bring all your friends to the top. There is no successful person, no famous actor, none of these people that were able to bring their childhood friends all the way to the top with them if they don't have similar goals and if they aren't willing to put the work in, right? And if everyone has the potential of being successful in a sense in their own way, right? And everyone has a purpose. There has to be a role for someone to be a janitor in this role, and that's perfectly fine. There has to be a role for someone to be the president, for someone to run a massive company and make a specific impact in this world. But yeah, and another thing, guys, if you haven't seen the movie The Secret, I highly recommend that. And it goes over the law of attraction, and it breaks down, right, really, again, the secret that successful people know, and how they are implementing into their daily life and what they are doing to achieve that, right? And another thing that I've jotted down is, I guess something very important as well, is daily growth, right? So that means you should be getting 1% better every single day. And again, you have to stay aligned with your goals. And if you are getting 1% better every single day at a minimum, then you're going backwards, because you can't, there's no such thing as staying stagnant, right? Because your body is aging, you're getting older, every time is going by, right? So you can't be going just down the middle. It's either you're going forward or going backward, right? So you have to make a decision. Are you going to use this day to go forward towards your goals, towards the Lamborghini, towards your dream life, to your dream family, your dream home, whatever you deserve or want out of life? Or are you going to use it to go backwards, right? Going out partying, right, or smoking weed, whatever it is, it's not worth it in the long term. You have to choose long-term gratification over short-term gratification, instant gratification. It just doesn't play out with your health, with your wealth, with your happiness, and so forth. And you have to zoom out and look at yourself in the future, where you are on your deathbed and you think, what did I regret not doing? Was it traveling to different countries? Was it dating more? Was it settling down? Was it raising a family? You have to think in the future, right? And it's very important to do that, right? Because if you think about what you're going to regret, it immediately sets the alarm, like, crap, I'm running out of time, I need to do this now, right? And then you have to prioritize everything, right? So once you've set a list of 20 goals, you need to pick your absolute goals that have to happen no matter what, right? So this is my number one goal. I have to achieve this in this life. This has to happen. Number 2, number 3, number 4, and you should have goals in all different settings of your life: health, spirituality, right? Family, wealth, income, so forth, right? It's important and imperative that you do this, or you will go through life and it will just go by in a blink of an eye, and you'll think, I just wasted this lifetime just wandering around, and I didn't actually really set a purpose or reach my full capacity. And they say that what hell is, right, is when you're on your deathbed and you're seeing the ghosts of the people that you could have became in this life, right? You meet them, you meet your potential self, whatever those different variations of yourself are. And it's horrifying to think about. Regret is a terrible thing. And, make today be the day. Don't say, okay, I'll start this tomorrow. No, And some books that I recommend is Read, Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, Watch the movie The Secret, get a daily journal, write in it every single day, have your goals printed out and put on a vision board, right? So it reminds you every day when you wake up, these are my affirmations, and this is what I'm going to get closer to today, and this is why I'm doing this, right? And then on top of that, go the extra mile, start waking up earlier. Another book, some more books, by the way, it depends on if you want to become an entrepreneur or not, but entrepreneurship gives you a lot of freedom in a lot of ways. It allows you to control your income, right? So if you're interested in entrepreneurship, another great book is The 4-Hour Workweek, The E-Myth, The Slight Edge, and the list goes on. I mean, it just takes a couple of Google searches to see the top entrepreneur books. And I try to read books, every single week. Audio books to physical books. I prefer physical books. And again, like discipline and persistency and relentlessness is all part of the process. Successful people are studied more than anyone else nowadays. So we know how they think and what they do and why they do things. So if we just look at the information that's out there on YouTube or different authors, all of this information can be your mentor and guide you towards your success. And if you're doing this on a daily basis and not just listening, but implementing and making time for it and substituting habits, instead of watching Netflix, now you're substituting that bad habit with the good habit. Now you're watching something educational. I have to be learning something. I have to learn something in business every day, or law, or real estate, or whatever it may be. And then not just learning, but also implementing and experiencing, going out and doing it, forcing yourself in uncomfortable situations. Pressure makes diamonds, right? But my camera battery is actually low, so I had to hop off. But yeah, I appreciate everyone listening to this. And if there's anything you want me to go more in depth on, right, just let me know. And again, I appreciate you guys. I love everyone watching this, sending good vibes your way, and I'm rooting for you. Just remember that. So, peace out.